For a long time, and whenever I thought of death, whenever we go to a grave, we place a flower on top of a grave, and that's where I got the idea of roses, and that's why I rolled the cloth like this. And actually, this piece is a representation of nothing can stay the way it is. So, for example, like the roses that I put it on the grave, like that's gonna die eventually.
Yeah.
So it's an idea of nothing can stay the way it is. So what I did is I forcefully glued it on the board, and for these pieces right here, I put a acrylic paint over it, and I made a print out of the roses. So it's a representation of nothing can stay the way it is. It's also like an idea of reincarnation. This is the idea of coffin. So that's why I framed it, because after a person's dead, we put them in the coffin. It's an idea of restriction, and no one, that person cannot go anywhere. And the contrast to this piece, that piece is not framed, and it's also the idea of freedom.
Yeah.
And that one over there is the medium size of it, and I wanted to show the purity of the event of death. It's because it's something that we have to face at the end of our life, so I wanted to examine the idea of purity with that one over there. These are Japanese cloth that I received from my grandma, actually. And it's an idea of culture may be passed on to another generation, and it may be mixed with another culture, but at the end, culture will stay the same way. So it's an idea of mixed culture, but at the end, the whole concept of culture would not change. A street store that I saw in Japan, what they had is they had a set of string that was hanging from the ceiling. I actually have a photograph over there, but I'll show it later.
Yeah.
So basically what I did is I worked on a photograph, and what I did is I got an inspiration out of the photograph, and I just drew what I saw and getting an inspiration from the photograph. So this is the first piece that I worked on. That one actually, the inspiration mainly came from the photograph. And this one right here, what I did is I only took out the head part of the human symbol.
Yeah.
And what I did is I was trying to represent the idea of human interaction. And what I did is I only picked out primary color to represent the idea of originality in each one of us. And what I did is, right here, for example, the circles, the head part are placed onto another. So right here it's more like purple, and this is more like green, to represent the interaction of human. This is the small size of pastel people, and this is similar to the other one. I took out, for example, this one I took out the head part for that one too, and these two actually came from the family portrait again. But for this one, for example, what I did is I made a circle out of a marker, and I placed the waterful brush, and I just constantly made circle over it. And after that, I placed the paper like this, and then let the water drip down. And what I was interested in is that I think these are what I'm considering. These are the human life, how long we live for. For example, this one died really fast, but this one was living long, and this one is not straight, but it's curvy, so it's had a rough time in life. So I think these strips right here represents human life. The idea of these two came from these photographs right here, which I took them in Japan, except for this one. But it's an idea of whenever I look at this one right here, for example, it's in a TV course over in the sky, and that's actually the idea of where it got me to this piece right here, and also this one. And also it was taken in Japan, that's why I used Japanese cloth underneath to show where the inspiration came from. This one right here is called People Series, and what I did is I took it in the bus way home from school. And what I did is I constantly kept on pressing capture button over and over again. And whenever I looked back at the picture, this was the first picture that I saw. and it's a picture of a street store. And whenever I think of China, it makes me think of street stores because I know that there's a lot of street stores in China. So I feel like that's one of the traditional thing in China. So that's why I thought it was suitable to use black and white filters over it. Like throughout this course, I actually learned how to explore one idea to another. Explore one idea to another ways. For example, like this, I just said like not only that I use this symbol, I actually tear it out on different things. For example, like right here, I only took out the head, and over there is actually the bigger size of Pastel People series. This is the one that I only took out the body part.
Oh yeah, okay.
So that's like an idea of like, or the representation of what I learned. I learned different ways to express my thinking.